Okay, so ngayon magpo-proceed na tayo sa example problems ng free-falling bodies. Ngayon yung naka-display ngayon dyan ng formulas na figure ay magagamit natin. Okay? So, na-discuss ko na to previously sa previous video natin. So, proceed na tayo sa ating example. Okay? So, example number 1. Example number 1. A ball dropped from a rest at a height of 50 meters above the ground. And letter A, what is its speed just before it hits the ground? And letter B, how long does it take to reach the ground? Okay, so before that, we have to draw first the figure, no? Parang analyze natin siya graphically. So, pag nag-solve tayo, mas maganda kung drino-draw natin siya. Let's say, this is our ground. Okay, pagpasensya na yung drawing. And manggagaling dito yung ating bola. So, dito ibabato. No? So, andito yung taas niya. So, yung distance nito or yung displacement niya ay 50 meter. So, yan yung height. So, dito manggagaling yung bola. No? So, mahuhulog siya. So, yung motion niya ay pababa. Ayan. So, sa iting ground natin, so, meron tayong given value na yung constant natin, gravitational acceleration. We have 9.81 meters per second square. And this will be positive since our motion is downward, di ba? So, letter A, what is its speed just before it hits the ground? So, anong formula ang gagamitin natin? We're going to use y is equivalent to v2 squared minus v1 squared divided by 2g. Okay? So, of course, ang ating initial velocity ay nandito at andito yung final velocity natin na v2. Bakit? Kasi dito sa v1, andito. Dito magagaling yung bola, di ba? Tapos dito siya lalapag. So, andito yung final natin. So, we're going to use this formula. We have to cross multiply. So, manipulate lang natin. And we have v1, v2 is equivalent to wait lang. We have y 2g is equivalent to v2 squared minus v1 squared. So, ano ba yung values ng v2 and v1 natin? No? Okay, so ito ilalagay natin. v1 natin ay 0. Bakit 0? Kasi nakalagay dyan na at rest siya. So, at rest siya dito sa taas. Ngayon, ang v2, yan ang hahanapin natin. So, what is its speed just before it hits the ground? Wherein, andito yung v2 natin. Okay? So, proceed tayo dito. So, itong v1 natin, cancel out natin kasi magiging 0 na yan. So, therefore, v2 squared is equivalent to the y2g. And then, v2 is equivalent to the square root of y2g. No? So, yung square, nilipat ko lang sa kabila, kaya naging square root na siya. Okay? So, substituting the values of the variables, so we have, so rewrite ko lang, v2 is equivalent to square root of y2g. So, we have v2 is equivalent to square root of, ano yung value ni y natin? 50 meters. And we have 2. And our gravitational acceleration, which is constant, 9.81 meter per second square. Okay, naka-square root lahat yan. So, makukompute natin, v squared is equivalent to square root of 981 meter square per second square. So, paano nangyari ang unit? So, meter times meter. So, addition of exponents. Yan. Then now, the value of our V2 is equivalent to, so square root of 981 will be equivalent to 31.3. Then, cancel na natin to. Square, kasi makakancel din yan when it comes to units. So, meter per second. So, ito na yung sagot sa ating letter A. Okay? Now, sa letter B naman, okay? So, letter B, how long does it take to reach the ground? So, we're going to use the formula. G is equivalent to V2 minus V1 divided by T. Okay? So, since downward siya, tingnan natin. So, yan, nandyan pa rin. Nandito yung mga formulas natin. So, all formulas are usable in any circumstances as long as na-identify natin kung ano yung motion niya. Upward ba or downward. Okay? So, yan. So, cross multiply lang ulit natin. So, we will have GT is equivalent to V2 minus V1. So, manipulate lang natin yung formula para makuha natin yung exact formula to be used to find the unknown. Okay, so, yan. Divide both by G. Kasi time ang hinahanap natin. So, T is equivalent to V2 minus V1 over G. Okay? Wherein ang V1 natin ay 0. So, magiging T is equivalent to V2 over G na lang. Diba? So, meron na tayong value ni V2, which is 31.3 meter per second at ang ating constant gravitational acceleration na 9.81 meter per second square. So, ang sagot natin sa B na time ay equivalent to 3.19 seconds. Ayan. So, yan na yung ating example number 1. Next, we have to proceed to example number 2. So, a stone is thrown upward and it rises to a height of 20 meters. With what speed was it thrown? Yan. So, ito naman, stone ang hinahanap. Stone ang given. Meron tayong height. And then, ang hinahanap is yung speed thrown. Okay? So, thrown meaning ibinato. So, therefore, its motion will be upward. So, yan. So, let's draw. This is our ground. So, ito, assume na lang na andyan yung ground. Dito magagaling yung bola. So, dito yung bola. And then, we have thrown upward, rises to 20 meters. So, assume din natin na dito yung maximum na maabot niya. Wherein its distance or displacement is equivalent to 20 meters. So, upward. Upward dyan. So, of course, we have V1 here. We have V1 and then V2. And of course, ito yung stone natin. Okay. So, lagay natin yung given. So, andyan yung 20 meters. And our G is equivalent to negative 9.81 meter per second square. Okay? So, ang V2 naman natin ay magiging 0. Bakit? Kasi, kapag itong bato, naabot na yung highest point, which is 20 meters, titigil dyan yung velocity. So, automatic, 0 na ang V2 natin kapag andyan na siya sa pinaka-limit niya, yung pinakamataas niyang position. Okay? So, ang V1 natin ngayon, ang hinahanap. Okay, so V2 is equivalent to 0 and V1 ang hinahanap. Okay? So, anong formula gagamitin natin? So, we can use the formula y is equivalent to v2 squared minus v1 squared divided by 2g ulit. Okay? So, since ang v2 natin ay 0, so cancel out na natin yan, 0. At v1 ang hinahanap natin. So, we have to manipulate our formula. Okay, cross multiply. So, y2g is equivalent to negative v1 squared. So, next, we have to remove the negative here by dividing both sides negative. Okay, para ito maka-cancel na. So, magiging ganito na siya. v1 squared is equivalent to negative y2g. Okay? And then, we have to square root. Square root natin. So, v1 is equivalent to square root of negative. So, rearrange na lang natin. Negative 2 gy. So, same din lang naman yan. I-rearrange lang. So, next, substituting our values. So, v1 is equivalent to square root of negative, our negative, may negative dyan. And then 2 times our g, negative 9.81 meter per second square. So, negative yan since upward yung motion natin. Tapos yung y natin na 20 meters. So, v1 will be equivalent to the square root of 392.4 meters square per second square. And if we have to simplify this value, will become 19.81 meters per second. So, cancel out na yan. Or, equivalent to 20 meter per second if we round off to whole number. So, ito na ang ating final answer. It can be this one or this one. So, other problems will be discussed in the next videos.